Hello, and welcome back to South Coast Busways, where we are looking at what we did last week, which is an 8.9 meter Enviro200 MMC that we've had for almost the entire series, but rebranded for the Newport 9s in Morse 2, with the new Vectis identity rather than Southern Vectis. You know, Southern Vectis with all of the dots and the Southern. It's now just Vectis with V. I think it's very nice. I think it's very nice indeed. But we're not going to go to the island. In fact, we're going to Mallard Road Shed 2, which is home to 6 additional Volvo B90L Red Eclipse Gemini 2s. As part of the big batch that we got from Midland Red, which is why they're red. For university routes in Bournemouth/Poole. Round here. You know, this place. And my thunks are local services around here. And I have had an idea for a bus that we can use. So, well, I've got the livery made. It's going to be from London Country Busways, or not London Country, Capital Country Busways, which I keep teasing. I will show it off at some point. I just, honestly, most of the buses on Capital Country playthrough don't have liveries. And I want to make sure that as many of them as possible have liveries before I show it off. Because surely that's what you come here for. You come here for my graphic design genius, rather than my bus network planning genius. So, I'm going to probably base them out of the buses are going to be based at Mallard Road. I could do something from Christchurch. I could do something out of Ferndown. I feel like there's a few town services that we can do here, like Parley Cross, Dudsbury and West Parley. Out to Wimborne, but Wimborne the back way. Westmoors. You know, something around here, although Ringwood, we're getting into Hampshire. Yeah. There's also a lot of nothing up here, but the buses that I'm using are a bit too big. And we're getting into, what's the name of that county? It's Wiltshire, that's it. I knew it was W. Yes, there's a whole bunch of things that we could do with these, because they're small buses, but they're not really, really small. You know? Like, they're not Optare Solos, but they are small. What I think we'd do... what are the... It's 3s through here, isn't it? Well, that's the 400. It's the 3. Well, seeing as it's 3s through here, and I'm using a lot of 300s on the sort of regional stuff, you know, if I bring the map across, like, all the stuff in the New Forest is 3s. That's actually a broader Dorset thing, even though the New Forest is actually in Hampshire. I know. I didn't know when I set the operation up, but I know now that, yeah, no, the New Forest is actually in Hampshire, which means it technically should be Solent Red, but shush. So yes, I think I'm going to base my operation out of Ferndown, and the first route is going to be the 343, which is going to run from, what is that estate called? Look at me, doing research for the episode live on air. It doesn't have a name, but this junction is called Trickett's Cross, so I'm going to guess that it's called Trickett's Cross, or something like that. Yeah, it's just considered Ferndown, so Trickett's Cross. Is what we're going to call it. And which way round the estate did these buses go? They go round the estate, because there's already bus stops, so I might as well use them. That go around, I think they go around it anti-clockwise, which would be good. So I think I'm going to get the 343 setup between Trickett's Cross and probably Amesford. That's probably not how you say it, that's probably Amesford or something. I mean, there's no bus stops up here. What we could, like, it could do, like, out of the estate, into Ferndown this way, up, across, up again. And then, I mean, I wanted to do that broadly. So I'll do that. So we've got the names Amesford Road. Amesford. I really don't know. Oh, up here is a golf club. And this is Ferndown Police Station. But also this isn't a road. So yeah, if we go up here, we can only serve these estates. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get the local route colour for not the New Forest Greens. Do I have a local route colour for... Oh! I don't. Well, I'm going to make... Oh no. I know this was FEC 507, so I'll just put that back. There we go. This new route. Own bus route. FEC 507 is the hex code. And we're going to set the route number as the 343. 343. Trickett's Cross to Amesford Road. Trickett's Cross to Amesford Road. There you go. Oh, it's the Turbury Road estate. Okay. I know that now. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So actually, give me back Turbury Road. Turbury Road to Amesford Road. There we go. And we're going to start it there at Turbury Road Estate. Size equals 75%. Small caps. Hope Church. There we go. If you're wondering what all of that like code that, you know, looks like I'm putting in a bunch of code, that is it's rich text formatting. It makes the small caps. But for now, post me if you don't mind. We're going to go up there. There is the 343 from Turbury Road to Amesford Road. And that's going to go there. And I'll just copy that hex code for now. So that is our first town service in Ferndown. I will get to the timetable magic and I will bring you back when it's done. And the 343 is now timetabled between Turbury Road and, not between Turbury Road, between Heatherlands Estate I found that out. And Amesford Road. So, it's going to run every half hour with one bus, and it's a very tight shuttle there and back. It's got absolutely no, it's got a little bit of padding, but it's really, really close. I do not envy the drivers of this route. So, we'll activate that later. The next one that I'm going to do is going to originate... what is this? I want to serve here. So I will, but I don't know what to call this. This road is called Coppice Avenue. And then this footpath up here is called Warren Walk. So I might call it Warren Walk. And this is going to be the 342. Then I'll save the 341 and 340 for some more major services, and the 345 as well, and we should have just a couple more routes to go, although we have a fair few buses that I have in mind to buy. So this is going to be Warren Walk to Parley Cross. Or are we going to go down this way? To, yeah, that's an idea. So we could either come out of Ferndale Town Centre, go the way that the other two main routes go, or down this way and do a circuit around West Parley, Dudsbury and Parley Cross. Or we come out of the town centre, go this way, like the alternate route to here, but continue going to this estate. It's quite thin on the ground, I have to admit. What I think I'm going to do is we'll leave this estate for another route, and we will bring it down from Warren Walk through the town centre, down this way, down this road, then through Dudsbury, Parley Cross, and up and back the same way. So, I'm going to put that there, and it's going to say Warren Walk. So, post me, if you don't mind. And the 342 is now in place between Warren Walk and Parley Cross via Ferndown Town Centre, West Parley and Dudsbury. So this route is longer than the 343, but it should be a bit... It's longer than 343, it's quicker than the 343, but because it's so much longer it does still take longer. Unfortunate. I'm going to get timetable done. This one should probably also be half hourly. And the timetable for the 342 is now complete, running 7 days a week, with service up to every 20 minutes Mondays to Saturdays with a PVR of 2, and every 45 minutes with a vehicle requirement of 1 on Sundays. So that is the 342, and we'll run that out of Mallard Road Shed 2 later. Next... Verwood's still in Dorset, I believe. But maybe by that point we're looking at a different garage. I mean, for Ferndown we're probably looking at a garage other than Mallard Road, but we're using Mallard Road for the time being. So that's the 342. Wimborne Minster. I have my eye on it. And I'm not entirely sure why. Should I have a town service there? It feels a bit weird to have a town service in a place that we haven't connected up to the normal bus network yet. Especially seeing as Wimborne is going to get links to Ringwood, Bournemouth and Poole. But maybe the next deployment of these small buses happens down in the Jurassic City itself. Maybe it happens down here. Where exactly, I don't know. But I think it could work down here. What is this? This is a We're Looking at Stuff episode. I like this. It's Cranford Cliffs. Okay, Cranford Cliffs. Looks like this is the main road. And then this is the main road that goes sort of across them. And then we'd go this way up. Where does that put us in relation to Westbourne? Over there. Okay, so we're west of Westbourne. What is... So this is Poole Retail Park. There is Adler Hills Sainsbury's. There's obviously the university. If we continue up, this is Wallisdown. And continuing up further we have Kinson and Bearcross. But then of course, my brain is immediately attracted to Castle Point. And I'm thinking, if we take something out of Castle Point, send it down around here, and we could have it go to Littledown? Castle Point to Littledown, just like a quick. And then it could even do from Castle Point, like it could be like a... I don't want to call it a through... Yeah, through service would be correct. It could be a through service. What are these estates called? That's what I'm looking up now. So this one is called Townsend. And this one is called Muscliffe. Well, this one's called Muscliffe. I assume this one's also Muscliffe. And then, of course, we have Throop up here. So, maybe we have... No, I want to serve Muscliffe through to Castle Point with a service from Bournemouth. That's going to happen like that. And Townsend might have one that goes from Bournemouth through Townsend and into Castle Point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Castle Point, Townsend, then down and around and into Littledown. That I like. So that is going to be, that's 12. We have the, what numbers do we have? Well, this is the, oh, that's a U. That's the U, I think that's a U3. No, it's a 13. Oh! Oh yeah, because it's not a U. This is the 307 and the 7. So maybe this could be like the 37. Let's do that. I like that. 37. So this is going to be the 37 from Castle Point to Littledown via Townsend. Castle Point to Littledown. There we go. Castle Point. And then... Oh, that's where the yellow bus's garage was. Okay. Yeah, post me if you don't mind. Right, so I completely forgot to do my little bit going over the route, but the route is there, you saw it going in. I'm not going to timetable it, and we'll see how many buses this needs. Hopefully we don't need to run it more than about half-hourly or so. And the 37 is now in place between Castle Point and Littledown via, what was it called? Townsend. Yes, and that's going to go from Mallard Road Shed 2 later. So that's the 37 in. And I'm looking at... Where am I looking? I keep looking at Wimborne Minster, but I don't want to deal with Wimborne Minster until we have a mainline route there. I mean, I don't really know what we're going to do regards running the mainline service to Wimborne Minster, but I think so that it's out of mind, or so that it's in mind for next week, I'm going to bring back the mainline colour for Jurassic County, which is FEC507. To use correct notation for hex codes, they are 3 sets of 2-digit numbers. We're going to put in the 4. The 4. Poole to Wimborne Minster. So this is going to be a very direct line from Poole up to Wimborne. I will look at where we're terminating actually. Is it going to be a loop of this town centre area? What it looks like I'm going to do is we're going to turn back and we're going to use the square at Wimborne Minster, which is here. And that's going to be our terminus point for the 4. As for getting through Merley, I guess we're going to go this way. I don't like that, because it's really indirect. Unless we stick to the main road on that bit and then go through there, that would also work. I think that's what I'll do. But coming out of Poole, actually that's another thing. In Poole, do we want to do something involving the old town, or are we going to do something... Or are we just going to slam it into the bus station and call it a day? I think I'm going to start it at the quay. And we're going to come out and around like that. And then, what's the way into Poole? It is this way. So, yeah, we are now here. And post me if you don't mind. And there we have the teaser for next week, which is going to be the 4 from Poole to Wimborne Minster, which I will timetable off camera. I'm not going to deal with that. But this week, we're going to be looking at the new buses for the other new routes this episode. Let's go to Mallard Road Shed 2, and I will see you in the paint shop. This is what we're getting. It looks like your standard Enviro200, but of course it's got Morse 2 stickers on it, because we are in the Morse 2 era, and I'm not going to show you the roof, because the roof, if you know my roof details, not showing away the roof means the roof has something special on it. So yes, this is the first hint at what the Morse 2 identity will look like on on Jurassic County buses. We have a Morse 2 little back advertising board. I like putting the the Morse there now. I think that looks really, really sweet. Obviously, dot dash 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 is the letter J in Morse code. So that's just there. And the big reveal, DSE. What? What is a DSE? DSE stands for Dart Short Enviro. Because these are the first 12 of the Enviro200 to ever be delivered to National Busways. So, I'm going to get, that was 10, I'm going to get the remainder delivered, and I will see you when they're all liveried. And finally, we have NB06 DSN, better known as DSE-12. So, yes, these are 06 reg Enviro200s, which I don't think ever existed. The oldest Enviro200s that I'm aware of, at least on the Dart base, because I know there were some prototypes in 2004. Don't tell me about those, I know they exist. But the earliest Dart-based Enviro200s that I'm aware of were from late 2006. They were ex-Stagecoach examples that were actually in service briefly around this way in Kent. I'm going to just very quickly, see if we still have them, because Arriva's been getting rid of a bunch of buses, but they've also been taking some weird ones on. It's weird. I don't think we still have them. No, we don't have them anymore, but I very clearly remember we had some 56 plate E200s and they had Stagecoach interiors. So, yeah, I was misfortunate enough to end up on one on the 133, which is not fun. But anywho, these are some really old Dart Viros, and yeah, so the story with the Dart Viros is the first 16 of them the first 16 were sent to London Country, or Capital Country Busways, as I should be calling it, because that's what NB call it. They were split between Capital Country and National Busways West Scotland. DSEs will be making the DSE-type code will be showing up in West Scotland at some point. Way down the line though, not until 2006. And so yeah, the first 12 of the first batch of 16 went to Capital Country, and that's what we've got here. And then DSE 13 through to DSE 16 ended up in Scotland to bin off some Marshalls and, trial the Enviro200 for use in Glasgow. And of course, when you see those, you'll be seeing them in the new image scheme, the very, very fetching new image scheme. But here you're seeing it in a weird mishmash of identities with Morse as the base livery, and then Morse 2 slapped on top of it to cover as much evidence as possible, I believe all evidence, of Capital Country branding, colour scheme aside. So this is a bit of National Busways lore. We have the first Enviro200s. And they are in service as of 2019 as 13-year-old buses around Bournemouth. Well, in Dorset. So, I will activate our new routes, with the exception of the 4, and see you when we have something to look at. And it's now time to join the first 343 from whatever the name of that estate was, I keep forgetting it, to Amesford Road through Ferndown. And it's pleasantly not rammed. Very pleasantly surprised by the fact that the bus is not rammed, although it is quite busy. Alright, where am I? I'm trying to find the name of this estate still. It is called Heatherlands, the Heatherlands estate, up to Amesford Road. This big road here being Amesford Road. I bet it's Amesford. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. But we are coming down into Ferndown Town Centre. Again, pleasantly not rammed. Very pleasantly not rammed. And coming back around the Harelands estate to terminate off of one rounder, and we are going to be starting immediately on the next run. It's a tight ship, this route. So, where is the other 342? That's a 342. You know, let's take this one and we'll do a you know, some runs. The 342 the same cannot be said of the 342. It's fairly busy. It's a very busy route. For a town run, particularly. This route starts by going up the Amesford Road, and then it goes down into this estate, stops briefly at Warren Walk for 1 minute, and then it comes back around the bottom, and then around the side, then along the bottom, along the, what is that road called? That is Wimborne Road. Yeah, along Wimborne Road, then into Ferndown Town Centre, where we stopped twice. And then we come down the main, that road, which is the Ringwood Road. And then we turn onto Glenmore Road, and then head down through West Parley. We are now on, what is that, Ellsfield? Yeah, Ellsfield Drive. And then going through Dudsbury on Christchurch Road, and stopping at Parley Cross for 4 minutes. Which allows interchange from that U3. I don't know why you'd interchange from that U3, seeing as it goes the same way. But there's also very easy interchange with the 3 and U3 going towards Bournemouth, which more useful, much more useful. And heading back up to the town centre, we've now done a full return journey on the 342. So let's head down to the 37, which is going in 4 minutes' time. So this route is a stack of 2 timetables, as you would expect from me. And each timetable runs every 45 minutes, which you might not expect from me. So it means that the frequency during the day is a very odd every 22.5 minutes. But it works. And it means that service should be fairly reliable with 2 buses. So, that's good. And we are very quiet indeed. Part of me wonders if I should have put this route in at all, because it's very, very quiet. We will see how it goes. We may end up withdrawing the 37. I don't know. But we obviously have the other way to go, which, boom, straight away. I don't like sitting too long in these estates because there's nothing really to do. You know, driver needs a break. Driver wants to get to civilization, somewhere where a break can be taken. And a random housing estate is not there. So we give very little time at the housing estate end so that we can have more time at the civilization end, which in this case is a shopping centre. In the case of the 342, it's Parley Cross, where there's probably a cafe or something. And around Townsend, and terminating at Castle Point. So, I think that's a good place to leave it. We've had 3 new routes enter service, and a 4th one in the late planning stages, if you will. So, I'm going to return to Mallard Road, Shed 2, Le Garage, to get my thumbnail screenshot, because I still haven't got one. And oh, I've got function lock on, that's why it's not taking a screenshot. Yeah, let's go with that. There we go, that should be good. Yes, I will see you next week from the south coast. Bye bye.